Hi everyone, welcome back to my March 2024 finance overview. I will be going through all of my income, my expenses, and anything that I did financially in the month of March. So this is my homepage, and as you can see right here, I've got a little gallery view for finances, and we will just drill right into this. And then over here on the side, I've got a page for my money tracker. And this is the money tracker that I use to keep track of my finances from month to month. And this month it is April 3rd, so we will be going through every transaction that I had for the month of March. And then I will put all of my income, expense, my final amount that I spent in each category so that I can see it here on the front page, and then just continue on until the end of the year so I can see how much I made and spent and saved and all of that fun stuff for the entire year. So let's go to this transaction page. You can enter in all of your information here, or what I prefer to do, I like to just drill into the month here in this gallery view and enter in all of my transactions here. So this is the month of March. You can see up here we've got a $0 amount for all of the different types of transactions. Down here at the table we will fill in all the transactions, and then once we get the final amount we will enter those in up here. So I will go through, and I have my checking account and my credit card, so I will go through and enter in depending if I made money from my paycheck or my side hustles, or if I had to spend money on gas, groceries, stuff like that. And then my fixed expenses are my mortgage, my water bill, electricity, investments if I put any money towards saving for investments. I've got my savings tab if I put any money into a savings account, and then anything that I spend for loans. So right now I am currently paying off my student loans, and that is the only loan that I have, thankfully, except for my house. But yeah, that's where I put that information. And then once I get that file number, I go up here and put those numbers, and then down here at the bottom you can see it says net, and then calculates my income minus everything else and gives me if I made or lost money for the month. So I will go through and enter in all the transactions right now. Also, I have all of my information down here on my iPad, so that's what I keep looking down at while I'm filling in all of the information. So that's where I keep looking at. So what I like to do, I have my checking account where I pretty much have anything that's like a recurring expense or like something that's big, like my mortgage, come out, and then all of my money goes into my checking account. But all of my little expenses like gas, groceries, that type of stuff, I put all of it on my credit card so that way I can get extra points, but I pay it off in full every month because that's how you keep a good credit score. So right now this is just all the transactions that I have through my checking account, and then I will go through and do all my credit card stuff. Alright, so that is everything that I had transactions wise through my checking account. So you can see the majority of it is the income that I make, but there are a few little random expenses that I like if you have to use cash or like this is my mortgage and a few things that I just automatically have come out of my checking account, but like my Ameren comes out of my credit card because I just like to have some things go there so that way I can get extra points. I have my credit card through American Express because you can save up points for traveling, and I hope to use that for a free plane ticket someday. So I like to do a lot of my transactions through my credit card, but always make sure you pay it off in full because there's no point in having a credit card if you're not gonna pay it off in full. That's how they get you. Okay, so now I have all of my transactions done, so I will do a quick just rundown of what all of the columns that I have created are for. So we've got the transaction column, which tells you if it is a income, expense, fixed expense, investment, a savings, or a loan transaction. The second column is the date. Third column is the dollar amount. And then each of these, as you could see when I was going through each individual tab, only shows which one it is in relation to. So if it's an income, I will put what type of income it is, Instacart, paycheck. The expenses all have their own tab. The fixed expenses have their own tag. And then you can also put something for investment or saving. And then the tag I have for my loans is my student loans. And then the last two columns are just a little description if you want to be more specific. And then the final one is the tag with March attached to it. So when we go to categorize it, you'll see why you have to have the March tag. So that way it just breaks down it by month. So that way you can categorize month by month by month. So this is all the transactions in one list, and then we will go through and we will go to the income tab. We will see that for the month of March, I made $3,454.93. I spent for my regular groceries, that type of stuff, like day-to-day expenses, I spent $1,440.38. My fixed expenses to keep a roof over my house is $1,884.92. I didn't invest any, I didn't save any money. I put $1,122.83 towards my student loans. So as you can see, this was not a great month for me. I overspent by $1,000, but I'm really focusing on paying off my student loans. So once I get that all paid off, I won't have to worry about that anymore, and I can start saving and investing money again. But for now, this is the overview, just broken down by each transaction. But now we're gonna go and break it down even more so we can see how much I made in each category and how much I spent in each category. So now we'll drill into income. So as you can see up here is a table with each month on the side, and then on the columns you can see I've got a column for paycheck, a column for Venmo, Instacart, DoorDash, and other. And then the final column is a total dollar amount of adding them up. So we will come down here and click the March tab, and it'll pull in all the information for the month of March because I have it filtered to only pull the March tagged transaction lines. So we'll go through, we'll take these dollar amounts and enter them up here. I do this every time. So this way I'm able to see how much I made from my paycheck, how much I made from Venmo, Instacart, DoorDash, all that stuff. So this way it's just broken down even more. Now we'll go into the expenses page. Same thing, we've got the table up here at the top, and then the tags all categorized into the tag that was associated with them. So eating out, gas, groceries, you can adjust this however you want. You should have to go through a few steps to add or get rid of them. But for this case, let's go to March again, and I will just enter in the dollar amount for each category up here on this table. So again, I like to have it categorized on this page as well, so that way I can see not just what I spent in expenses overall, but what I spent individually in expenses. So as you can see, I spent a little bit more money eating out this month. That's because we went on vacation the last week of March, so I was definitely not cooking meals at home as much. I had to pay for my car insurance, which I do in 6-month periods, so that way I can save money. So I definitely spent a lot more in the gas/car category this month. My groceries, I also spent a little bit more, which kind of stinks because I ate out more, so I definitely spent a lot more on food this month. My subscriptions were, the lowest they've been, which is nice. But overall, I just like to be able to see what I need to focus on spending more or less in. So I definitely will try to spend less money this month on food for sure. Last one that's kind of set up like this. This is for the fixed expenses. They're very similar month to month, just because pretty much you don't really have your fixed expenses change that much, especially like your mortgage. Ameren definitely changes. In the winter, there's a lot higher Ameren bills, but in the summer it's a lot better. Water is roughly the same from month to month. Xfinity is always the same, and then Nicor. So this one's pretty similar, but I still just like to see how much I'm spending, and I have a boyfriend that I live with, so we split everything, so I have to categorize it that way as well. I didn't save any money this month, but this is just kind of an example. I really have not been saving very much money. It stinks, but I'm kind of doing a lot of side projects and stuff, trying to make money in the long run. So I've been putting a lot of money towards my student loans and towards a different type of long-term investments, hopefully. But this is kind of an overview of what this looks like. You would just have all of your savings transactions down here, and then you would put how much you have saved up here, and it would automatically change the number so that you can see how much more you need to get to your goal. This is the loans page. It looks pretty similar to the savings one. You can always add something if you have more loans or just different loans than my student loans. I've got the pay date of when I started paying. I've got the total loan amount, and then the payment amount is how much I have paid, which is this number down here. So as soon as I update this to include the March payments that I made, you can see that the left to paid has gone down. So it'll automatically change this dollar amount once you update the bottom dollar amount. So it takes the loan amount minus how much you've paid to give you what is left. So this is how much I've paid on my student loans. And again, they pushed back, at least for me, what the start date is. So mine's not until August, I think, so I'm not paying any interest right now, which is nice. So I'm trying to get that paid off as soon as I can. My goal is to pay it off by the end of the year. So check back on January 1st, 2025 and see if I completed it. But yeah, that is overall every month what I come in here and I complete, so that way I can keep track of my finances from a month-to-month basis. I really enjoy money, and I really enjoy just having a great overview of every dollar I spend and make, so that I can see what I need to adjust from month to month. But I just like to have on this front page an overview of how much I made and spent, and if I need to save, or if I have some extra money. This month I have no extra money. I really need to be careful, but I'm making a lot of behind the scenes types of big purchases to hopefully create more wealth later on, so I'm not too worried about it. I've got lots of investments that I have kind of built up over the years, so I've got extra cash, but definitely need to be careful because last month was not a good month for me. So I am working on building a series to kind of create this template. If you don't want to just purchase this, you just want to build it yourself so that you can kind of learn Notion more. Those will be coming out if you want to look for those, but I also will just have this template in the description below, so that way if you just want to start doing it yourself, you can. Otherwise, if you just like to watch, I know I've watched many of people do their, my January finances for the month and all that type of stuff. It's just kind of interesting to see other people and how they spend their money and make their money and that type of stuff. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, you can leave them in the description below. But until next month, bye.